It has been 2 years since the initial allegations of abuse and sexual assault were levied against popular musician and Minecraft YouTuber Wilbur Soot. If you didn't know, in February 2024, his ex-girlfriend Shovel made a stream where she talked about an anonymous ex-boyfriend who abused her by biting her until she bruised. Wilbur would then release a Twitter statement where he claimed that the biting was consensual, but at the same time expressed that her feelings were valid, which majority took as an admission of abuse. He would also be accused by another ex-girlfriend, Alice Nyanya, for sexual assault and grooming by another content creator, Hey I'm Rue. After taking a hiatus, Wilbur has returned to making content on YouTube and creating new music with his band Lovejoy. While he is still viewed as an abuser by his past audience, he was able to retain a dedicated following who do not believe the accusations against him. They argue that his accusers never showed proof of what they claimed. On the other hand, those against him believe that the fact that he did not push back the allegations with anything substantial shows that he's guilty. Wilbur and his bandmates feed into their defender's narrative by brushing off comments as parasocial drama. They say they want to move on, yet they keep engaging with people who reference what happened. Today, I tackle what I believe to be the fundamental problem with Wilbur's allegations and everyone involved. The situation keeps getting brought up again and again, yet no one involved wants to release evidence that supports their side of the story. First, let's bring up what Wilbur had to say in regards to the allegations. In his return video titled An Update Video, he says that he stands by what he said in his first response, all the claims against him are false, and that he won't reveal anything because he wants privacy.
And look, I'm not here to drop any bombshells. I don't want to reopen any old discussions. I responded to the situation in February of last year, and I still stand by everything I said in that statement. I understand it was misinterpreted by some people, probably due to my wording, and I know some people are still looking for clarity, especially nowadays where personal transparency is more common amongst content creators than it's ever been before. However, this clarity, the clarity I've offered to my close friends and my family, would mean publicly sharing deeply personal parts of my private life and my relationships with the internet. I've never been comfortable doing that, and I don't believe that should be the cost of being understood. All I can say is that the labels that have been attributed to me by social media are not true, and I don't accept them. I don't believe in this expectation that content creators should use their platforms to attack and defend, and I definitely don't think that's how serious accusations should be handled. I felt this way for a really long time now, having seen other content creators go through similar situations, and I know it's not a perspective that's going to satisfy everyone, but it's one I can get behind, and I hope that makes sense to you. None of this is me trying to dig up or dwell on the past here. I would just feel very strange if I carried on without at least acknowledging the past year, because all I can do now is move forward, and I hope you enjoy what I've been working on.
This is a weak response to allegations of abuse, sexual assault, and potentially grooming. I believe that if you claim that these allegations are false, you need to prove that. To play devil's advocate though, none of the accusers showed any DMs, photos, videos, etc. that prove what they said. This doesn't mean I believe Wilbur Soot is innocent. I just can't take a side in a situation where there is nothing tangible for me to review. For the most part, he has not spoken about it. The same cannot be said for his bandmate Ash Kabosu. Around 2 months ago, he got into a mild drama because he was arguing with commenters under a music reviewer's video over the allegations. If he truly wanted the band to move on from the controversy, he shouldn't engage with these types of comments. I couldn't help but compare his behavior to someone on the other side. On the accuser's side, Alice Nyanya has a close friend named Suki Sakura who has engaged in similar behavior to Ash. Thus, I feel that, using these two as an example, I can discuss what I believe to be the root problem when it comes to engaging with this situation.
Hey, how y'all? Get your fucking dog, bitch! It don't bite. Yes, it do!
Let's start with Ash Kabosu, who is firmly on the pro-Wilbur side. In late January, a music reviewer by the name of Fictious released a video titled Aussie Metalhead Reacts to Lovejoy, One Simple Trick. The actual contents of this video aren't important to the story, but the comments underneath it are. In the pinned comment, Ash Kabosu said, Thank you for taking the time to listen to our project, and also thank you for posting your thoughts. It's this kind of feedback and dialogue that I've missed greatly since the controversy happened. It feels good to be able to hear conversation about the music without it being muddled by petty, parasocial drama. Really happy to see you are finding success yourself. Keep up the good work, dude, but don't forget to take breaks. It's so easy to work yourself into a hole. Peace. I don't think that being accused of abuse, sexual assault, and grooming is petty parasocial drama. There's also no reason for you to even mention what happened. You could have simply left it at, "Thank you for the feedback." You're basically begging people to mention it at this point, and the commenters obviously did, so he added this. Genuinely, I am so concerned about people's comprehension skills. I genuinely don't believe people are this incapable of understanding. You must be intentionally interpreting it wrong so you can try and get upset. Petty parasocial drama is referring to the way in which people online continue to insert themselves into a matter they have no idea about. Read what I said again properly. Good night. Their comprehension skills are fine. The entire situation revolves around your friend and bandmate Wilbur Soot being accused of heinous deeds. You know, people wouldn't continue to insert themselves in this situation if you showed proof. If you know more than the public, what is stopping you from correcting the record? The fact that you call the discussions that people have of someone potentially being abusive, petty, and parasocial speaks a lot about how you view those types of situations. There were people who criticized him, and surprisingly, he directly responded. Or Lath says, abuse allegations will never just be petty parasocial drama. It's a serious crime. Even if they are fake or real, in any case, it's never just a petty drama to happen. Ash responds with, if I had any reason to believe they were true, I would have left the band 2 years ago. I am so tired of letting this pantomime continue. Move on. Ariella says, abuse, grooming, and SA isn't petty parasocial drama. Ash replies to them stating, the petty parasocial drama is you doing the exact thing, bringing up a load of bullshit that you know precisely nothing about. I don't blame you though. You've been misled. Myself, the band, our crew, our management, our distributors, our labels, our promoters, our entire extended team have all spent an ungodly amount of time talking through all of these events with him personally. It's not just the 3 of us in the band who actively work with him still. There are so many professional people willing to put their reputations on the line because they know there's no merit to this noise. He's not any of these horrendous labels some people on the internet have decided to attach to him. It has been 2 years. You don't know him. Everyone in his offline life has stuck by him. I have kept quiet out of respect for the people who are actually involved, but I'm tired now. This has gone on for far too long. People need to just move on. There is an extremely easy way to clear up the petty parasocial drama. Wilbur or his management should drop a Google Doc or a response video like so many other creators have done when they face these sorts of allegations. Using big words like pantomime and making arguments that if you believed it was true that you would have left mean nothing. How about people like Rhiannon or Filza? Both of these people were friends with Wilbur for a long time, yet they still went against him. You have a financial incentive as a member of Lovejoy to stick with Wilbur, who's your frontman. All the people you've mentioned have a financial reason to stay by him. Unless there's someone we don't know who's secretly for Wilbur and has no financial gain from that, I'm calling bullshit. Also, it's very funny you imply that Shubble lied and that you're tired of being quiet about this, yet provide no shred of evidence at all. If people who criticize and go against Wilbur are petty and parasocial, then you are performative as fuck. You can't even help your friend by providing concrete proof that he's not an abuser. All you have done from this situation is cause more people to talk about the drama and let commentary channels like Samuel profit off of it.
It tore me apart, but I learned an important lesson. You can't count on anyone.
Now let's see the other side of the aisle, the people against Wilbur. Meet Suki Sakura, also known as Rina, a close friend and collaborator of Alice Nanya. For context, Alice was one of Wilbur's ex-girlfriends who he dated in 2019. Her biggest claim against Wilbur was that sometime in 2021, they met up at the bar for closure. He then would get her very drunk and ordered them an Uber back to his house, where he proceeded to take off her clothes. She blacked out, and it's implied that he assaulted her with his comment that she must be a lesbian because she wasn't interested. Contrary to the lies that have been spread by Wilbur's support squad, it has been documented that yes, they did indeed date. On screen right now are their Twitter interactions with one another, and they had photos of a double date with another couple. So where does Rena fit in all of this? Based on her comment on that ice cream photo, we know that she was at least aware that Alice and Wilbur did date during that time, but we don't know if they have met each other. She has also complained about Wilbur on Twitter and has gone after his stans. I even had an interaction with her last year, but we'll get to that later. There are numerous interactions that you can find between Rena and random Wilbur stans, so I picked out the most substantial ones. Saya-chan says, "What I found suspicious about Alice's story is that no one except Shelby stood up for Alice. No one confirmed that they were dating. I know this person, it was like that. Neither Dream, Tubbo, Ranbu, Amesy, nobody. When it came to Alice, everyone gave up." Rena responds with, "Did you consider that she might not have wanted her friends to get involved? The people you listed didn't even know her, though it's disappointing they didn't speak up for another victim. They weren't obligated to." Kate says, "You can literally look up Alice Wilbur proof or something and you can find a series of photos she's shown from the time. At least use your research, please. She also started promoting her OF a suspicious amount after it got traction, proving she just needed money like Shelby." Another person replied with, "Didn't she also claim it happened at like peak COVID?" Kate responds with, "She did. It was proven she cheated on her boyfriend with him emotionally, who she was also emotionally and maybe actually abusing. At the time, Speedy, but I can't remember if there was physical cheating as well." Rena responds to Kate with, "Are you mixing up stories / people up? Because Alice didn't cheat on anyone, Lamau. People keep pushing it was peak COVID as proof, but Alice never actually gave an exact date for when it happened." In response to a different tweet, Rena tells someone, "Your fave is an essayer." Theseus responds with, "And? When did she mention SA? Dumbass." Rena says, "Shelby wasn't the only victim, my dude. Victim, she says, and had no solid proof other than words." Why are you spending time going at Wilbur stans instead of providing anything that will corroborate your friend's story? Wouldn't it be more helpful to Alice if you can show a conversation that you had with her about her going to meet up with Wilbur? All you are doing is rage baiting yourself. None of this is going to help people believe Alice or condemn Wilbur. Another thing she did was go at some Wilbur Support Squad researcher who's known for making threads that try to debunk what the accusers have said. For context, this user Vi mapped out Wilbur's old bedroom to try and see which corners Alice would hide in, since that is something she claimed in her statement. Now, I don't see the point in doing all of that. It doesn't really prove anything when the important claim is the essay. However, it was significant enough that Rena responded. In response to Vi's tweet, Rena says, "The map of his bedroom? Get help. Jesus fucking Christ." Vi responds with, "Alice told she would hide in the corners of his bedroom. Where the fuck is she hiding? I just pointed out her lies." One of Rena's friends, Percy, interjects saying, "And you're a freak trying to defend a guy who abused people. Maybe stop trying to find non-existent lies and find a real hobby." Wilbur Soot, who's an utter loser that dick sucks Wilbur, dunks on Percy for playing Pokemon. Vi says, "We do what we want to do. I'm on a break, and so I've been here online for a bit. I choose to research more to find more to this whole situation. If you genuinely believe Alice, my condolences." Rena replies with, "Muting this, but it's a lot of work to put in to still be wrong. But I hope you find peace one day." While I don't agree with mapping out people's bedrooms, this is a good example of my primary issue with Rena. She'll bitch at someone telling them that they are wrong, yet can't provide any reason why they are wrong. If you can't even tell someone in what way they are wrong, what is the point of interacting? Do you seriously believe you're helping anyone with this sort of vague posting shit? I mentioned earlier that I did interact with Rena, so let me give a bit of backstory. A year ago, when I was starting out as a content creator, I was looking into the Wilbur allegations and trying to do my own research. I didn't like the Wilbur supporter narrative because it was too biased in his favor, and they spread lies about the accusers. I looked at Alice's accounts, stumbled upon her Twitch, and found a link to her Discord, so I joined it. I then proceeded to DM her and say, "Hi, I came across your post where you talked about your assaulter. I'm wondering why you didn't include the Instagram DMs you had with him back in 2021. Because I kept hearing from people that bars were apparently closed in England at the time. Sorry for bothering, I just wanted to ask so that I won't receive misinfo." Honestly, I just wanted to try because I'd rather hear it from Alice herself rather than those stans who go and suck off Wilbur. It was a genuine question, I didn't really expect a response, and I'm not going to apologize for this. Alice did not respond to me, but Rena messaged me to say, "Seeking out the victim's personal space to insert yourself and use it to try and gain access to DM them questions about their trauma is extremely invasive, and if you can't see that, I fear you haven't developed enough critical thinking skills." I'd like to reiterate that I got the link to the Discord from Alice's Twitch profile. She also promoted it on her Twitter, so what do you mean, a personal space? It's a public Discord, like my Discord, link in the description, 18 plus only. By the way, she broadcasted her experience on Twitter, where it has nearly 8 million views and more than 100,000 likes. How is it invasive to ask about a detail she mentioned in her public tweet? I'm not the one who mentioned having an Instagram conversation in 2021 and didn't show it in the thread where I'm publicly accusing a guy by name of sexual assault. Also, it's an Instagram DM. I'm not asking for something insane like photo and video evidence of her getting assaulted by Wilbur. All I'm asking for is the reason why she didn't include it. That's it. Anyways, I told her to ban me if it bothered them so much, and I made a Twitter thread ranting about it. I mentioned that I had exported the logs from the Discord server. Now this action, you can definitely argue, is invasive. Why did I do it? To see if she mentioned going to a bar, meeting up with the next, or talking about Wilbur. You know, things that can corroborate her story. If I had found anything that validated the timeline, then there would be something concrete. Many people dismissed her story because she plugged her YouTube and Patreon in her thread. Whenever I hear people talking about Wilbur, they focus more on Shovel and not her. Wouldn't it be beneficial to have literally anything that corroborates her story about the assault? Especially when, unlike Shovel, no one vouched for her. In response to my thread, she said, "I'm not being invasive. Also, I use software to pull all the chat logs of this random ass server that's not been used in years to look through for info. Ain't no way. Also, there's nothing in there but enjoy the random yap and many jokes about our friend having a foot fetish, I guess." She then proceeded to complain about me and insist that I invade victims' personal spaces when I was getting shit for my takes on Hey I'm Rue. By the way, the only thing of note that I saw in that Discord was that Alice had long COVID. Whatever that is. Hey Rena, my channel grew 100 times the size since then, and I get decent views. Even my last video that flopped has more views than your vlogs. Am I big enough for you now to engage with? By the way, that analysis I did on Rue was from her public YouTube videos. Keep bitching at random Wilbur stans. It's not going to change the fact that he's regaining an audience because all of you are incapable of corroborating your friend's story. At least Shovel and Rue have the excuse that they did not mention Wilbur by name. Alice is the only one who has said his name. Out of all of them, she has the most responsibility to show evidence that they did meet up. It's one Instagram screenshot. Is that not reasonable to ask for?
No. This is not content. Ow!
It is 2026 now, and I hear about the allegations every few months from fellow commentary channels or stands that come up in my For You page. It is beyond ridiculous how serious allegations have been left to interpretation for so long. You cannot expect people to deplatform Wilbur over word alone. You need something, anything, that shows his bad behavior. DMs, photos, videos, a story that everyone can vouch for since they were all there. Literally anything. For those on Wilbur's side, you cannot expect people who believe he's an abuser to change their minds all over his friend's word. It's the same thing. Where are the receipts? If the accusers are lying, where are the contradictions, the lies, the messages disproving what they said? If Wilbur's telling the truth, does he have anything to meaningfully push back against what his accusers have said? If not, for both scenarios, can you dumbass British fucks stop expecting people to believe you just because you yap about something? Take this with a grain of salt, but my personal theory as to why nobody from either side wants to show any evidence is because both sides have done fuck shit. If one side releases evidence, the other will leak dirty laundry. Aside from that, there is no conceivable reason as to why either side refuses to leak DMs or show any fucking semblance of evidence. To Ash and Rena, it is your choice if you want to show it or not. However, if you choose not to show any evidence, then you and your friends are not entitled to being believed. It is only in this Minecraft Brighton scene where I see this. Both of you are so useless in defending your friends, especially you, Ash Kabosu. Where is the evidence that Wilbur had which convinced you that he's not a rapist abuser? How come that evidence wasn't enough to sway his Minecraft associates? You will never escape the reputation of being part of the band with a biting abuser for as long as Wilbur refuses to release proof that exonerates himself. You have no right to complain about your reputation when you take zero action to counter the narrative. I hate everyone involved when it comes to Wilbur because I believe if someone has committed heinous deeds, you should do everything in your power to get them deplatformed. It is unacceptable that these allegations have stayed in a he said, she said situation. Do not give me the he admitted it arguments either because Wilbur has explicitly stated that the allegations are false. Until someone releases evidence, these allegations will stay in this uncomfortable limbo where the truth will be subjective. As a commentary channel, I want to be 100% sure someone truly did what they are accused of before condemning them as an abuser, rapist, or groomer. I want to have evidence before I make definitive conclusions. Maybe I'm crazy for having those standards. It's not like I'm someone who doesn't believe victims. Coincidentally, there was another Alice who lives in England that came out against an abuser in 2024. I'm talking about Alice Hez. I'm Alex's ex-girlfriend who released her document about her experience of abuse at his hands. She had DMs, photos, and videos of his bad behavior. She did release a 700-page Google document, but I'm not expecting that level. What I'm expecting is material that supports what you say. It's only you people in particular who have a problem with that. It's only you people who don't follow that. This has been on my mind for a year now, and I have finally got it off my chest. If this status quo continues, those who are against Wilbur will continue to condemn him as an abuser, and he can't escape from that ire. Meanwhile, those who support Wilbur will continue to downplay his actions and spread the narrative that the supposed victims are lying. Either way you look at it, both sides are enabling lies being spread about them. I doubt this video or anything else will get them to change their minds. What's important to me is that I've expressed what I've been holding in for so long. Like and subscribe for more, join my Discord, check the links down in the description.